Welcome to Lesson 34 and to a real turning point in this course. Up until now, we've been learning the machines, hardware, networks, operating systems, the moving parts. Stage 5 is different. Stage 5 is about the job itself, and the atomic unit of that job is the ticket. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to pick up any ticket, know exactly what stage it's in, triage it by priority, and start working. So day 1 on the help desk feels a whole lot less scary. So let's start with the basics. A ticket is just a record of one problem, one user, one issue, one ID number, with fields for who reported it, who's working it, and every status change along the way. That last part matters. Tickets are the audit trail of IT work. If it's not in the ticket, it didn't happen. Tickets arrive from all sorts of places. Email, a self-service portal, phone calls, walk-ups, even a Slack bot, but they all land in the same queue. And watch out for reopens. Closing a ticket before the user confirms the fix is the fastest way to tank your metrics. Now, once tickets start landing in your queue, you need to decide which one to grab first, and that's priority. Here's the trap to avoid. Priority is not about who's shouting the loudest. It's a simple 2x2. Impact, meaning how many people are blocked or how critical the system is, multiplied by urgency, meaning how soon it's actually needed. That gives you P1 through P4, with most tickets honestly landing at P3. And here's the part new hires struggle with. Don't let users self-assign. Everyone thinks their stuck print job is a P1. Your job is to triage calmly, diplomatic, but firm. Once you've prioritized a ticket, it enters a life cycle. And every ticket in every system you'll ever touch walks these same 7 steps. It opens, gets triaged, assigned to a tech, worked on, often pauses while waiting on the user, gets resolved, and finally closes after about a week. Pay attention to who owns each state. It shifts between user, lead, and tech, because knowing whose court the ball is in saves you hours of confusion. And one hard-earned rule, always test your fix before marking it resolved, because a reopened ticket within 7 days counts against your metrics. Speaking of metrics, here's where they really bite. The SLA, or Service Level Agreement. Every ticket carries 2 separate timers, response time, which is just acknowledging you've got it, usually within 15 minutes to a couple of hours, and resolution time, which is the actual fix. Those timers vary by priority. A P1 might demand a 15-minute response and 4-hour fix around the clock, while a P4 gives you days. Watch out for 2 traps. 8 hours usually means business hours, not wall clock. So a Friday afternoon ticket is due Tuesday, and always flip the status to pending user when you're waiting on a reply, because that pauses the timer and saves you from breaching on someone else's delay. And while we're talking about saving yourself later, documentation is the discipline that makes or breaks you on a help desk. The rule is simple. If it's not in the ticket, it didn't happen. After every meaningful step, drop 1 to 3 sentences. What you tried, what happened. A good resolution has 4 parts: problem, diagnosis, fix, and verification. Most techs skip diagnosis and verification, and that's exactly what separates a junior note from a senior one. Know the difference between internal and public comments. Never mix them. And when you close, write a specific verb plus outcome plus a KB reference, not fixed it. Never fixed it. So let's put this into practice with 4 real tickets. Email server down for the whole company. That's P1. Drop everything. Page on call. CEO's laptop before a presentation. Technically P2, but in the real world, that VIP factor bumps it up. Linda Loner, move files through OneDrive. Buy yourself time. Slow Wi-Fi in a conference room is your classic P3. Investigate this week and write up what you find. And the wallpaper change? Prior. Be polite, set a clear expectation like Friday afternoon, and you're done. Before we wrap, here's your vocabulary cheat sheet, 12 terms you'll hear every single day. A ticket is one problem record, the atomic unit of your work. Triage is that first sort. SLA is the time contract tied to priority. Impact and urgency together produce that priority. Your queue is your pile. KB articles are reusable fixes. Escalation bumps it up a tier. Pending user pauses the SLA clock. Resolved means awaiting confirmation. And reopen means the user says it's still broken. Learn these, and you'll sound fluent in your first stand-up. Now, before you walk in on day one, let's clear up 5 myths that quietly sink junior techs. First, a user calling something urgent doesn't make it P1. Priority comes from impact times urgency, not volume of panic. Second, closure count is a vanity metric. 30 tickets a day with half reopening is worse than 10 done right. Third, never close the moment you fix. Move to resolved. Let the user confirm. Fourth, documentation feels slow today and saves you hours next month. And fifth, don't park tickets in pending user to game the SLA clock. Audits catch that, and reputations don't recover quickly. So that's the lesson. Triage, track, close, a 7-state life cycle. Impact times urgency for priority, 2 SLA timers running on every ticket, and documentation that captures the what, the why, and the fix. Next up in Lesson 35, we move from managing the ticket to diagnosing the problem, the small set of questions that quietly solve about 80% of what hits your queue. 6 help desk lessons and a capstone to go. See you there.